Redness, a planet once ruled by a divine tribe, thrived using a mystical light. Many millennia later, what remains are their ruins, treasures, and a dark secret. Start your journey in this forsaken paradise, uncover its truth, and become part of history. Hello, one and all, I am Frosty Coffee, and today not only am I returning to YouTube, but I am also returning to become part of this experience in this all-new MMORPG, Blue Protocol. Today I'm here to talk about news, updated information, story, and gameplay features that have been recently released from media outlets and from the official website for Blue Protocol. Redness is the planet that we will be starting on. It will be home to what we, the adventurers, will embark on in this great story by Bandai Namco. Today, I am here not only to jump in on the hype train, but also become part of this brand new community of Blue Protocol adventurers. Before I begin, I wasn't expecting much before starting the announcement trailer for Blue Protocol. In fact, usually when I start anything that's MMORPG, I set my expectations low. However, right off the bat, I was reeled right in to a beautifully artistic world that had hills, cities, and life across a vast, spectacular world with the light touching almost everything it could see. The last time I was drawn into a game so passionately was Final Fantasy XIV. To this day, I very much love playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I probably won't stop. However, I personally feel like another great MMO is upon us. Heck, I didn't even think Bandai Namco would pull it off an MMO, yet here it is. Now, to get started on what we know so far, this year of late May 2019, players from Japan were given the chance to play the alpha test of Blue Protocol, which in turn were able to obtain feedback and give ideas towards the development team on what was needed to be changed based on player opinion, after them jumping into the driver's seat of the game. Knowing some of the players on the West, I would assume it wasn't too hard to get through to try the alpha test, even though the NDA directly prohibits it. Currently, the dev team is referring to the alpha test as CAT, also known as Closed Alpha Test. Recently, as of August 28, 2019, the dev team gave a feedback report showing statistics and comment replies from the players that were able to join in on CAT. Today, I will go through a brief list of that summarizing the article provided by the dev team in lieu of the recent test. The dev team starts their feedback article with simple questions, which was then calculated into a graph to show overall percentage of players that voted based on what they experienced in the test. Before I begin, I want the viewers to know that I'm only listing the highest percentage for the most part. Question 1. How many players did you play in the dungeon with? 6 at 59.5%. Before I go any further, I just wanted to say that it is interesting to me to know that there is 6 players maximum for a party so far. Now, it being the alpha test, I would assume that it's limited. However, there may be more slots later on in the future. Question 2. What did you think about the time it took to capture one dungeon? So I assume the question is more saying of finishing or completing a dungeon. And that was at 66.5% of people, which means most players found the timing to be normal for a dungeon to be completed. Question 3. What did you think about the frequency of encountering enemies in the field? 31.7% of players overall. However, the dev team comments 58.8% of players said they encountered more enemies in the field because they reached the Asteria Plain. Now, when they say that, that means that some players weren't able to progress enough, and that where most of their statistics came in was from players that only got to a certain area in the game. And most of their comments, they found that a lot of players, over half, managed to get to the Asteria plane, which in Lu basically said that there was more enemies as you progressed further and further upon leveling and upon grinding and getting further and further within the alpha test of the game. Question 4. How many classes did you play? 55.5% said 1 class, 26.4% said 2, 7.7% said 3, and 10.5% of people said they had played 4 classes, which actually is how many classes that actually existed. So that brings me to another point. So far, the closed alpha test only had 4 classes to play, which makes me wonder, is that the only classes available to the game by the time the launch happens? Or is that simply because the base classes were only set out in the alpha test to give a feel for the game before it's actually released? In my mind, I'm just thinking that it's probably just for the alpha test, and I'm sure there's probably going to be more in the future. Now going forward, the dev team provided a graph which represented the amount of players that pushed to become the max level in the closed alpha test. A lot of players scored max, which was overwhelmingly high. The max level in Blue Protocol Cat was level 25. Just to reminisce a little bit, and to reference, I remember being in the alpha test for Final Fantasy XIV as an example, and just being level 30 being the max. So for, if I remember that correctly, so for Bandai, to have the level cap at 25, that's pretty reasonable. Question 25, 25, no thanks. Okay, sorry guys. Question 5, what is the class you played the most? 32.4% of players said the Aegis Fighter, with most saying it was the easiest class to handle. Now before we dive any further, let me break it down for everyone what the classes are available so far. To start off, Aegis Fighter class concept. This class sounds to me like a paladin/tank class. According to the dev team, this class manages the survival of the party, but also focuses on the shield gauges and taking on enemy attacks. The class itself is a high level of defense and physical strength. However, doesn't match up to that of any attacker, but it can provide some attack power at least. Alright, the second class they have available is Twin Striker. This class is built around being up close and personal with the enemy at a high attack power. This class is used to use the full combo system, allowing the class to provide increased damage with a continuous hit attacks, especially gaining an advantage from the rear and down attacks to provide additional overall party damage. To me, this is my warrior class, or off tank. This class will be a real damage dealer to gain the upper advantage. The next class is the Blaster class. This class is known for its ranged capabilities and supports the party from a distance. This class, in my eyes, is known as the Cleric/Green Mage/Healer. This class controls the heart of the battle by using healing abilities and sleep. So I'm sure there's probably going to be more intermediate type of abilities beyond just being healing abilities. Like they mentioned, there's a sleep ability. So I assume there's going to be more abilities similar to sleep that are just mundane and maybe even become irrelevant throughout the future, but maybe helpful in dungeons, for example, but maybe not in raids. The last class that they have available is the Spellcaster class. This to me is my mage, my black mage or magician. They are known for their DPS by contributing various forms of magic to fight from a long distance. This class is prone to elemental abnormalities. When this class strikes, it will hit with hard damage, and upon striking can weaken enemies. This class will be a major powerhouse in terms of DPS and helping kill bosses in dungeons or raid environments. Currently, after learning about each individual class, the alpha test has some very basic classes set up, which are all great and strong classes to begin with. A side note from the dev team says that through the progression of dungeons in the main scenario story, there will be NPCs to help assist on how to play in the future. So when you go into the dungeon, for example, you will be able to jump in with ally NPCs potentially, and or there will be maybe like a message pop out or something like that that allows you to teach you, or like a little pop-up screen that teaches you how to go about this dungeon and while you're going through the storyline to begin. At least maybe at low levels they'll probably have that. But now going forward, I would like to take a step back from the data provided and take a look at the story, the world, and overall gameplay. Much of what I know and have provided on screen is currently available to the public so far. However, there are still many questions still left unanswered. Such as, will this game have a westernized release? Knowing Bandai Namco, most of their games from Japan have been localized in the West. Hopefully, we will obtain news soon from the development team regarding a lot of questions unanswered in the next few months. There are a lot of fans, such as myself, very excited to see a global release, and if it happens, many will be very happy to finally have their very own anime character alive in an anime MMO world. So far, we only know about a human race, but I wonder what kind of future races will be available to us. The customization for the game looks amazing, and there are many options that the players, even from the alpha test, have been requesting, and we are not sure if it will become available to us in the future. Personally, I really love what I have seen so far, and I think it's great to reference some of the previous games that Bandai has worked on, such as God Eater or Code Vein, for example, with their amazing customization options. Closing up, a lot of fans and alpha testers have been very satisfied with the overall looks, feel, and play of the game, with very small tweaks being needed to play each class effectively throughout the world of Redness. The world of Redness is on the brink of devastation. Now is the time to unite. March on with friends and strangers and defeat foes beyond your might. Travel through space and time to change the future beyond this fight. Just hearing that quote there thus far, I'm really thinking that this storyline is going to be pretty powerful, and I'm very curious what it's going to be like. Ladies and gentlemen, who could this powerful priest woman be, which is featured in the announcement trailer? Is she an ally or an enemy? What kind of darkness awaits us in the storyline? What kind of battles will be taken on? No one knows. Regardless of if Blue Protocol gets a westernized release or not, I'm sure, just like Phantasy Star Online 2, we will get an English patch or something down the road. But until the launch comes, I will be doing full coverage of Blue Protocol from guides, walkthroughs, and news regarding the game and the future to come. Thank you, everyone, for welcoming me back, and also just being able to do this video and start this amazing adventure with everyone. I cannot wait to get started on Blue Protocol and what it means for the future with this amazing MMO. I really can't wait, and it's looking very exciting so far, and I hope you guys join me on this amazing journey. To close, I would like to say, guys, if you guys want to see more of my videos, please check out my Twitch. That is where I'm going to be live streaming constantly. I'm really trying to build my Twitch right now, but also at the same time, I'm also going to be doing a lot of YouTube videos regarding Blue Protocol and maybe other videos to come on maybe different MMOs or different games. If you guys want to continue with me, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, but also, more importantly, you guys will see more of me on Twitch and really trying to push to have a big community on both sides of YouTube and Twitch for live streaming. Guys, if you guys want to know what my Twitch is, it will be in the description down below, but it will also be up on screen, and you guys can see what my Twitch is and where you guys can see me on social media. You guys can see all kinds of updates through Twitter regarding my YouTube and Twitch, and any changes or cancellations or video releases that I will be doing will all be uploaded through Twitter as well. So please check that out at twitter.com/frostycoffee1hd. On Twitch, it is twitch.com/frostycoffee1hd. And of course, you guys can visit me here on YouTube as well by simply subscribing. Guys, I have a community Discord as well, and I've made a section specifically for Blue Protocol, updated news, and if you guys want to join in on chat and join in on the hype, join in on the Crystal Network. That is my community Discord for all of my fans, friends, family, and everyone that wants to join in on the hype and for the future to come. Share your screenshots, share your ideas, share everything that you guys want to share in your hype for Blue Protocol and other games to come. Join me on this amazing adventure, guys. You guys can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, and you guys can also join me in various other ways of social media as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys will join me on this amazing adventure for Blue Protocol. Thank you so much, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you guys all in the future. Have a good one. Peace.